has instilled in me this one truth, that success is not defined by riches or wealth, but in advancement of the kingdom of God. And I know that this is a biblical principle based on Matthew 6:19 that says not to store up your treasures on earth, where moss and rust can destroy and thieves can break in and steal, but instead to store up your riches in heaven, where it can't be stolen. And so this statement has been something that has directed and dictated many of my life choices. And while the world is constantly asking for more money and more success and more fame, more land, more popularity, more of just about everything, there's been a pressure inside of me that says to look for something bigger than myself. And so as I'm making these life choices, it's important to me to have the blessing of my closest family and friends. And I know that it's important to you as well to be able to have a voice into those choices. And so I just want to say that despite any worries and concerns that you have, that voice is still available to be listened to, but also to remember the faith that this family and friendships are based upon. So every attempt at success, whether it's investing in the world or investing in heaven, puts a demand on our talents. Many assume that it's the development of those talents that is the definition of success, but actually it's just merely a vessel to success. And so my vessels would be writing and ministry, and those are what I want to develop, but lately I've had such a demand on my time that it feels like I don't have time to really develop those properly, especially since I just have a very unpredictable schedule with work, and then I have to come home, quickly change and eat something, go off to the extreme for ministry, and then come home and do homework. And it's just this constant cycle in which I don't have time to really write well or have enough time to develop that. And also in the ministry aspect, I don't have time to truly pour into those that I'm mentoring. Instead, they are getting the leftover energy. So I want to show you how by cutting hours it's going to lead to a greater success, by showing you the problems I'm facing, what cutting back hours will enable me to do, the penalties of not, and the ways that you can help. So every job requires a set amount of time, focus, and energy. There's a motivational speaker and self-help author named Anthony Robbins, and in his book, Awaken the Giant Within, he states that one reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. And so that's what I felt like I've been stretched out over so many different things that I can't channel that focus into one and make it become something that I excel at and put excellent effort into. And I believe that just by eliminating at least one of these time consumers, I'll gain some more flexibility in which I can filter that time, focus, and energy into those things that will be there for the long run that I want to pour into. So a good job will develop an individual's calling by teaching them an aspect that will lead them to promotion or development in some way, whether in their character or in their job. In the current book that I am reading by Craig Rochelle called Hazon, he says that when there is no vision for your life's work, you will mostly work at wasting time. And what I take away from that is that every job should bring you closer to your ultimate call. There should be an underlying plan to what you're doing. And Lifeway, the current job I'm at, has taught me many important things, including submission to authority, serving people, as well as ministering to strangers. But currently it seems like all that I'm learning is how to stay warm, considering they keep it freezing in there. But I don't want to completely cut off that job for the ministry aspect that I do have there. I'm able to pray with customers and minister to them and encourage them, and I really like that connection to the people, to Cleveland. So right now, staying there with even a few hours is more for the ministry than for the income. So those are some of the problems that I face with keeping all of the hours that I have now, but there are pros to cutting these hours. Obviously, I'll gain more of that energy, time, and focus to put towards my ultimate calls, and that first one would be writing. People will look at that and say that that a book can be eaten by moth and rust or broken in and destroyed by thieves. And that's true, but it's, like I said, the book is merely a vessel in reaching success. And what I truly want to deposit into this generation is a hunger for the things of Christ, in which they are entertained more by heaven than they are by earth. And that is something that cannot be eaten by moth or destroyed and will last for generations to come. And so in your hand is an outline of that book that I'm planning to write, just to show the commitment that I have to it and that it's not just some distant idea. And it shows the goal and the vision as well as a basic outline of what that would look like. And so the second thing that I would have to put more of my energy, time, and focus into is ministry. I'm currently on leadership at the Extreme Ministries here in Cleveland. And basically what we do is the people that come in there, we equip them by identifying their call and then sending them out into the ministry field that they feel called to with influence and effectiveness. And then secondly, we also want to just reach Cleveland through outreach while praying for revival that will spread across denominations until we see that come. That's our main goal. And so obviously that requires a lot of time. I have to be able to make it to meetings and conferences, which I have missed many because of the hours I have currently, as well as time to develop ideas for this ministry that the Lord has given me to do and the roles that I'm to play as a leader there. But the most important one is those that are underneath me, being able to serve them effectively, being able to sit down with those I am mentoring outside of the typical Tuesday or Thursday night setting and be able to pour into them. And third, I will also be able to put that energy, time, and focus and branch into other jobs that will help develop my call. According to Jordan Lee's article in the Chattanoogan, the Lee University Developmental Inclusion Classroom has served as a model program for treating elementary-age children with autism for almost a decade. So this is a program called LUDIC that I have the opportunity to serve in. Tana Brandon, a friend of mine, has been working there for the past 2 or 3 years, and she offered it to me for this summer, in which I would work about 7 to 12, which means I will be Monday through Friday. I'll be able to be there and still maintain my few hours I have at Lifeway. But this way I'll be able to minister to a part of this community that usually wouldn't come into the Lifeway bookstore. I'll be able to learn different aspects of teaching, leadership, and serving that I am not learning right now and could help me in the long run. So those were what cutting back the hours would enable me to do. And now I want to show you the consequences if I'm forced to go about this without your blessing. So obviously there are consequences with every action you take, whether negative or positive. But by continuing with the schedule I have now and ignoring what I feel I should do, I'm choosing to neglect proper alignment for this season. And I think that will remove favor that's upon me now and also be more of a strain than a joy to be working there. Second, basically, this is very practical. The book will just remain unwritten, and that's something that I ultimately want to do and is very important to me. And those that I'm mentoring will place second to my job, and that to me, their lives are more important to me than a greater income that I have right now. So I seek not only your support in my decision as we look at all these factors, but also your aid in my decision, which is the last thing that I really want to point out to you is how much I need your help. I hope to initiate your favor and your blessing, but as well as your encouragement of pursuing these bigger dreams. And not only your encouragement, but also your accountability. Basically to be my boss and keep me accountable to the outline that you are holding. CNN Living has an article by Martha Beck that shows the qualities of a good boss and a bad boss. One characteristic of a good boss that Martha proposed was that they bring order to what others do. And so I'm asking for your help in bringing order to what I am doing and just keeping me accountable again, to keep me disciplined. And not only in that, but maybe even being as practical as clocking in and out hours with you to show that extra mile that I want to go and that you'll be able to see the work that I am producing. So in close, my current job is demanding the time and energy and focus that could be transferred to more beneficial goals. That is my treasures in heaven rather than here on earth. So I know that all of you can think back to moments where God has closed a door in your life, and you know that He has been faithful to open up another. And so as you stand behind me with your blessing and your encouragement is my hope, I want you to also envision the fruit that will come from the book that I want to write, as well as the ministry, and be able to strive with me for this greater success than worldly success.